funding for humanitarian disasters is usually in response to the big mega disasters. Haiti, for example, a tremendous outpouring of support. Estimates are that 1 out of 2 Americans from their own pockets contributed something to Haitian recovery. But when there isn't a big mega disaster, when the TV screens aren't filled with images of suffering, particularly in developing countries, then the response goes down. And so we saw that 2012, perhaps reflecting the fact that there weren't any big mega disasters, didn't generate the same kind of funding. We're not too worried about that. I mean, I think that funding, that response comes in response to big disasters of communities that aren't able to cope, but it is something to watch and keep in mind. For policymakers, I think the lesson is that you've got to be prepared, that you've got to devote more resources to contingency planning, to looking at long-term efforts to reduce the risk. In New York now, they're talking about changing building codes so that the basements of buildings aren't as affected by the increase in flooding that occurs. And on the community level, the individual level, you know, when a disaster occurs and you don't have time to recover before you're hit again, it can be devastating. People don't have a chance to rebuild their houses. They don't have a chance to find new jobs. Usually disasters destroy livelihoods. People don't have their jobs anymore. Kids lose access to education. Thankfully in the U.S. this didn't last too long, but in other countries it can last for years. Kids in Pakistan were denied the opportunity to go to school by flooding 3 years in a row. What are the long-term consequences of that decrease in social capital, if you will?